Okay, so today I am going to be road testing our new hand crank washing machine that I bought online. About 4 or 5 weeks ago, I had a load of washing on in our washing machine down in a friend's barn. We had to store it down there when we first moved onto the croft because we had no electricity for several years, so we couldn't run a washing machine. So our friends very kindly let us put it in their barn. So I put a load of washing on, and then I asked Joe to go down and pick up the wet washing to bring it back here so I could put it on the line. And he went out in the rain and came running back later, well, about 15 minutes later, saying there's something wrong, it's not, the washing's still wet. So I went down there, and lo and behold, the machine had died mid-cycle, obviously. So I had to drain it all out, and then I came back up, and luckily we actually had a spare washing machine that had come out of my mum and dad's place when they'd upgraded their appliances. So I was like, it's fine, we'll just take it, swap it over, we can carry on with the washing, it'll be absolutely fine. Anyway, it was raining quite a lot, as it is just now, and Mick and I went down and loaded up the trailer with the replacement washing machine, took it down to the friend's barn, took out the old one, managed to manhandle the new one into place, plumbed it all in, turned it on, didn't work. So I was just like, oh come on, really? It worked when it came out mum and dad's place, but obviously at some point in the intervening year it had got damaged, so didn't work. Two washing machines kaput in one day, very annoying. Anyway, came back, went online, and I was looking for alternatives to an electric washing machine, basically because where the washing machine was stored is in a damp barn, and I thought there's no point spending a few £100 on a spanky new a washing machine with loads of electronics, because they'll just fry in that kind of atmosphere and it'll be, a waste of money basically. So I started researching alternatives to electric washing machines and saw all sorts of wonderful videos of people with buckets and plungers and all sorts of things. Anyway, I came across this camping washing machine, which is basically a large salad spinner. I'll show it you in a minute. I ordered it, and 4 or 5 weeks later it arrived 2 days ago, so I'm very excited. So I've saved up some dirty washing. Up for the last month we've been using a friend's laundry. She runs a hotel, and bless her, said we could use the hotel laundry, which has been fantastic. And my mum and dad have been doing Joe's washing, so it's all been a bit of a here, there and everywhere. Anyway, I've got this thing, I'm going to try it. Now, here where we live here, we don't have any indoor plumbing, so we have our water comes straight off the hill, and we've got a cold water tap outside. So anytime we want any hot water, I have to fill a pan, put it on the gas stove, and heat up the hot water for washing, doing the washing up, and now for doing laundry. So I have put on a big stock pot full of water, cold water. It's going to take a while to heat up there. It's been on about 10 minutes already, and it's not even close yet. So once there's hot water, then I will take you through the process and learn how to use my new hand crank washing machine. Now, here is my stock pot full of water. I don't actually know what the capacity is. Now you can see I've had to put it over 2 gas rings here because the cooker in the caravan is too small to have it on one thing. Now the temperature, it's been going about 15 minutes, and the temperature there is about 40 degrees. Now, I have no idea what sort of temperature I'm going to get in the washing machine, because I'm going to have to mix hot and cold water, because it takes so much gas to actually heat this much water. I'm going to have to be as sparing as I can with the hot water, because I need enough water to do a washing load and to rinse it and all that sort of thing. So when it says on when I read the instructions for the washing machine, they were saying, it takes about 15 minutes to do a load of washing, which is great, but if you've got to heat up the water and everything first, that's a lot more time involved. So I was thinking it'll be quite easy for me to do a small load of washing every day and keep on top of things, but it's going to take a little bit more time and a little bit more organisation than I was thinking of. Anyway, I'll show you the washing machine just now before everything's ready. So here we go. Here is our glorified salad spinner, and it literally is a salad spinner. The instructions that came with it are really useful, all in Chinese. The only useful bit is that picture, which shows you how to lift up the handle. So we will see how it works. My plan is to just fill it with cold water, tip some hot water in, hope that that's round about 30 or 40 degrees, and then just play it by ear. Okay, it's now 55 minutes after I put the water on, and it's finally boiling. So I have put 5 litres of cold water in here, and I've got my thermometer in there. So I'm gonna be a little bit scientific and see how many litres of hot water, boiling water, it takes for me to get this up to a reasonable temperature for washing in. I'm going to aim for somewhere between 30 and 40 degrees. So let's carry on. Okay, so that's one. And two. And temperature wise, we are heading up towards 40 degrees. So actually that's not too bad. That's only 3 litres of 2 litres, can't remember. I'll check back on the video and check which one it was. But yeah, okay, that seems reasonable. So pop this out. Now I have put, it's a very small load, I've got 2 t-shirts, 2 pairs of socks, a pair of knickers and a microfiber towel in there. So we'll see how we get on. I'm going to put just a wee scoosh of laundry liquid in there. Again, I've got no idea about the proportions that I need. So there's now either 7 or 8 litres of water in here. And let's see how we get on here. So I'm going to crank it for maybe 10 minutes. See how we get on with that. See how difficult it is. Oh god, this is actually quite hard work. I'm not sure. I don't know whether I've overloaded it, because again, with the instructions being in Chinese and my understanding of Chinese being non-existent, I have no idea whether I've overloaded. Shit. Well, that's that answered. That's the handle broken. So that is 60 quid down the toilet. I wonder if I can do it. I can get the momentum up, so I'm going to have to try and find a way of fixing that. It's a bit annoying. So I will come back when I've been going for 10 minutes. Okay, so I have now spent 10 minutes manually agitating the clothes in here, because after a minute or so of spinning, I just took the lid off to check it, and of course with the centrifugal force the clothes were still not wet because the water was just going round and round the outside of the spinner. So what I realised is that although this is marketed as a washing machine, it's actually just a spin dryer, which you would have thought I would have actually realised that beforehand, but there you go. I'm an eternal optimist and don't always engage my brain. Anyway, so I've spent 10 minutes manually agitating the clothes and letting the non-bio laundry detergent do its thing. The water's looking pretty dirty, and I've had a sniff of the socks and the armpits of the t-shirts, and they're smelling okay. So we're going to go on to phase 2, which is this little drainage thing here, which hooks out, and I'm going to drain down the water out of here, which is actually quite quick, which is pretty good. It's not bad actually. So in future, I will do my basically hand washing in the bucket, and then just use this to rinse and dry off the clothes so that they dry off quickly on the line. So that's actually drained out pretty quickly, which is good. So I'm just going to fill that up with colder water again. Oh, hang on, let's get that on properly, hooked on there. When I had it just laying down in the sink with the plug on, it wasn't a very good seal. It was actually dripping a little bit of water out, which is why I had to put it up there. I have now spent another 5 minutes rinsing the clothes in another 8 litres of water, so that's 16 litres of water in total. And I've just drained that out, and I'm now going to see how long it takes to spin these. They're pretty heavy and wet at the moment, so I'm going to see how long it takes to actually spin them to the state as they would be if they were to come out of your washing machine and ready to go on the line. So let's see, I've managed to kind of ram this thing back on and I can still use it just, but that was a bit disappointing, but that's my own fault for overloading it and not being able to read Chinese. There you go. Okay, it's quite a big vibration coming up here. Certainly better than going to the gym any day of the week. My God, I'm going to have arms like Popeye, or at least a right arm like Popeye by the time I'm done. God, I feel like I'm sat on top of the washing machine. It's hard work, that's for sure. Okay, let's see. Let's see how that is. Oh shit. Okay. Well, okay, that's pretty good. It's not as spun as it would be if it were to come out of a washing machine, so I'm going to give it a little bit longer, see if I can get it any drier than that, but that's not bad, it wasn't dripping. So let's carry on. Okay, so another minute of spin drying there, and it's dry, so when I squeeze it there's no drips coming out. I don't think it's as dry as it would be out of an ordinary washing machine, but from a manual effort, that's pretty good. The vibration levels get pretty high when you're giving it loudly. So overall, I would say that this is disappointing and probably a waste of £60. On the other hand, it gives me the option to do small loads of washing at home without having to rely on other people to help me out. So there's swings and roundabouts there. It took 8 litres of water to do the initial hand washing. Another 8 litres of water I used to manually rinse all the clothes out. So that's 16 litres of water, just a dash of laundry detergent. The drainage aspect of it works really well. The salad spin, it's a great concept. Obviously, you know, it works like any kind of spin dryer. And it actually feels quite good to do something manual. From a time point of view, I've now been at this for an hour and 20 minutes. Obviously, if I was doing it, you know, when I'm doing it on a regular basis, I won't be sitting here waiting for the pot to boil. I now know I don't need to boil nearly as much water to do one load. So if I was doing a load a night, I could probably get away with one just like ordinary large saucepan of hot water to do that. So that would take a lot less gas. So I'm going to get on now and do a few more loads to make use of the hot water that I've boiled up here. So there we go, the hand crank, not washing machine, hand crank spin dryer. It works. It's nowhere near as good as an electric machine, but that is what we've got to get on with right now. So there we are. Okay, so I am on my second load now. and I've put the bucket on the floor because it's easier to do the manual agitation, so the hand washing on the floor and lean over it rather than being up high. And I remembered what I'd seen about people using a plunger, so I happened to have a plunger handy, so I used it, and actually it does a really good job of forcing the water through the clothes, much better than manually. I'll just show you here, I don't know if you can see that. So actually other than the spinner aspect of it, I would have been better off with a plunger and a bucket, which would have cost me significantly less than 60 quid. But there you go. You live and learn. Okay, so final update on the hand washing machine. I managed to do what I would consider to be a full washing machine load in 4 loads in the hand thing, and once I'd got the hang of it, it took me about 15 minutes per load. Using the plunger is actually probably the best bit. It's definitely the most efficient way of getting the washing liquid through the material, and it forces air and water through the fibres. So everything's now on the line. It's much wetter than it would be if it had come out of a normal machine, so I will see how long it actually takes to dry, but I think this is going to be workable if I do 1 or 2 loads a night. So there we go.